time is short. What is your life? It's even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. If someone had told me when I was 20 years old that life was very short and would pass just like that, I wouldn't have believed it. And if I tell you that, you don't believe it either. I cannot get young people to understand how brief life is, how quickly it passes. It seems like yesterday I was in school. I graduated from college 40 years ago this next year. A war had just started. We had no television. Nobody had ever heard the word television as far as I know, and I took a course in physics. And no jets. We went by train and bus everywhere. I drove a car, if you had one. No such thing as a Holiday Inn. No McDonald's hamburgers. No Kentucky Fried Chicken. No pizzas. No interstate highways. Elvis Presley was just a little boy. The Beatles had just been born. Never dreamed of a space shuttle. And most of you were not born that are here today. And how quickly the years pass. There may not be a tomorrow for you and for me, because there's a warning to time. Time is running out for all of us. Time is too short for indecision and vacillation. Do not halt between two opinions. Fools say that time is long. Every morning we have 86,400 seconds to spend and to invest. And each day the bank named time opens a new account for you and for me. It allows no balances and no overdrafts. If you fail to use the day's deposits, the loss is yours. What a thing it is when you think that you have just one short life to spend and it'll soon be over. 70 years God allows us. And it's interesting to me, with all of our medical science, we've never passed that magic mark. The average American male today lives 70 years and 4 months. The average female, 73 years and 6 months. More people live to be 70, but the average age of an American is still 70, as taught in the Scriptures. Now, 70 years God allows us. Let's think a moment. What do we do with those 70 years? The first 15 are spent in childhood, and then 20 years we sleep. And then the last 5 years, physical limitations are curtailing your activities. Only 30 years left, and part of that time must be spent in eating meals, working, and figuring out your income tax. That our lives are brief. What are we going to do about it? I'd write down my priorities in life, and I'd get committed to certain priorities. Every one of us here has been given the same amount of time in a day. 1,440 minutes a day, 168 hours per week. And somebody asked me some time ago at some university or seminary where I was speaking, they said, if you had it to do over again, what would you do? I said, I would study more and speak less. And I would say to the students, get all the education you can get. And then time also calls for immediate action. The fact that time is short calls for something now. Now is the accepted time. The things we ought to do, the classes we ought to take, the books we ought to read, do it now. The family that needs you, spend more time now. Write that letter home now that you've been meaning to write. Money you ought to give now. People you ought to witness to, do it now. Every time the clock ticks, it seems to say now, today.